Mr. County Security Chair, we seem to not be taking responsibility. And this is a time I want us, because one way to make progress in leadership is being able to recognize where probably you faltered as a county in your strategic approach or administrative calculation. Meza started this war, or first start this war in a very tremendous way from 2017 into 2018. And at a particular time, you would get proxies and others infiltrate. We cannot just shift the blames 100%. Talking to us, where did you think, or where did we go wrong as a county? And what are some of the steps we are putting in place to make sure that those things that would have made us not to be as effective as a county is being corrected? I'm talking to you, Mr. Nebafu.
Yes, Director Padi, thank you. The first thing I will say is that Mezam is collaborating with the federal government. Mezam is part of the national security team. We're working very closely implementing the policies of the federal government. We should all remember we are not shifting responsibility or not accepting blames for mistakes that have been done. We were never trained to persecute a war. We should all remember Bamenda is a metropolitan town. It's an urban area. There are no hiding places. We are not giving
Thank
excuses,
you.
but we have trained our ASA on how to move. We are not
Yeah,
building any team to carry out this war because the ASA are not going to be moving in a group. You are not going to move in an urban area with sticks as we
yeah,
say they are going to be well armed. No, we have strategies that we're going to carry the war. That strategy will never be discussed. As I said, Mezam is part of the national security team, which is headed by the commander in chief. We are implementing the policies of the government, and we have weekly meetings that we discuss. The things that affect Mezam, we present them there. We discuss them. We have solutions because the 13 counties are represented there. They give ideas on what we go to implement. So we are saying there have been lapses. Yes, we have ASA on the ground. We don't control their minds. We should remember some of them are not educated. Some of them, you cannot write a message to them. You can only give a voice message. We know our communication system. So we've adapted ways on how to get messages to them. We pay a lot of intermediaries to carry out messages because of the locations of our people. So it is a process. Like we said, Bali is
the
equally
progress.
an urban area. Bafut is an urban
Yeah,
area. The whole of Mezam is an urban area. The road networks are all tarred. It is not like in the rural areas where you can dig them and put popcorns and it works. No, we have different strategies that we're working on. We have different strategies we implement it. Like I said, the kidnapping issue has gone down. Do
yeah.
we think it just went down? No.
Now,
The ASAs are
I'm not cutting,
advanced.
I'm not cutting you short, Mr. Chairman. I like what you're saying is very important, and it is my role to prop you to say some of these things so that it can clear some of the doubts of those who are probably misinformed or or misconstrued by um, evil rhetorics. But this is again, I want to come to you. What are some of the reforms after understanding this? Because we still see men that are not necessarily ASA invading the streets with sticks. So I'm asking now, not necessarily for you to provide strategies. What are some of the administrative reforms that you think that this county would have to take to become better? Or are you just saying that the county is perfect in whatever they're doing?
No, the county is far from perfect. I will tell you that
Perfect.
the county is
Where I
maybe
want you to come in.
Yes,
Yeah.
the county is maybe 30% perfection. So we still have a lot of work to do. In our team, we have communication people. We're pushing them out to make messages to educate our population. That is one of the most important things. Educate our
Yeah.
population. We equally educating our ASAs. Like I said before, it's not all our ASA who are educated. Some of them didn't even finish class 7. So there's a lot of work that is going on. I will
Yeah.
clearly tell you there is a drug problem that we have among fighters. Those
Yeah.
are things that we working seriously to stem it. We'll be tremendous work on it. I remember the commander of our elite forces. He has done a lot of work on that. There are civilian people who were moving around selling those things, and when you are caught, the message that he put out: if you are caught, you bear the consequences, because what you are doing is more than what La Republic is doing. So those are the educational things that our team is putting on the ground. In as much as we're making the strategies, working with the ANSC, the policy body, to make those strategies on the ground, we are equally educating our people. These are the things that are affecting you. We need to continue in terms of education. It is definitely not only going to be the role of the defense team to do that. Every member of the government who has people on the ground, those ASA, they have families. We are part of their families. We have a role to play. We have a role to educate them. In our LGAs have that responsibility to educate our people. Because if we have 20 members in the LGA and we have this discussion with them, this is the problem that is happening. And these 20 members carry it to their family meetings and educate the family members that this is the problem we are facing. If we can stem this out, our ASA become more alert, they become more agile, they are able to move within the community and carry out the exercises they are carrying out. Remember, it's a guerrilla war. Our ASA move in the community like people they don't know. Remember when this war
Yeah.
started, when La Republique declared this war on us, our fighters at the time, the ARF, they will go out and say, where them they? They were showing their faces.
Yeah.
We educated them. You don't see them go out and show their faces. Where them they? Because it's a guerrilla war. You need to be able to move on the street and nobody should be able to identify you as a fighter because you're defending yourself. Such that when you
Yeah.
move and carry actions, nobody sees you. Nobody knows what you're doing. We have succeeded. And that is why we are stemming out all those ills that La Republique is committing. You see some of the La Republique falling. La Republique doesn't show their fallen people anymore. When they
Yeah.
fall, because they dress them as civilians, and when they go out in Bamenda to carry out those activities, and our ASA take care of them, they show them like it was Ambazonian ASA that was killed. But meanwhile, the real person that was killed was La Republique. So those are
Yeah.
things that we need to do, and we continue to do that. Like I said before, the federal government supported Mezam last year. I'm not going to say the sum, but we know it was a hefty amount that was Mezam was supported. So in terms of collaboration with the federal government, we collaborated with the federal government. But one thing I would like to say here is Mezam is a place where when we see something going wrong, we're going to say it is wrong.
Now, when you're talking about collaboration with the federal government, are you collaborating with the federal government? Just be specific in conclusion. Are you collaborating with the federal government just in terms of funding or when it comes to strategy? And to what degree is the county in adherence with federal government strategy?
Like I said, in terms of strategy, we have two representatives in Mezam who represent Mezam in the ANSC, the National Security Council.
Yeah.
Every policy that is debated, implemented by the National Security Council for Mezam is being implemented. It is
Yeah.
not only, we don't only collaborate with the federal government in terms of funding. Those are federal government policies that are implemented in Mezam. There are projects
Yeah.
that we've raised and wanted to do in Mezam, discussed in the federal level with the national security team, and the national security team said, no, this is not going to work for us. And those projects were halted. because we are working together with the federal team. So if anybody says we are not collaborating with the federal national security team, I am the vice chair of the National Security Council. So I'm wondering, how do I take the policies of the president and not implement them in Mezam? It is ridiculous.
In your own county.
Yes.
I am very delighted that you would have to explain some of these things so that I am happy for all stakeholders, those in different counties, you have concerns. Your concerns are similar with our concerns. You've heard a proper articulation of the stakes involved in Mezam. But also Mezam should not worry when the bullets are coming to them, because it is said to whom much is given, much is expected. We have the second in command of the government is from Mezam. By default, the Speaker of the House, married from Momo, is from Mezam. Dr. Tita is from Mezam. Eo Magida is from Mezam. So Barrister Fru Johnson is from Mezam. To whom much is given, much is expected. Ladies and
Director Padi, we accept the responsibility on us. And
yes,
like I said, we are behind the president 100%. But this is what Mezam is. If there is something that Mezam thinks is not right, we are not going to shelve it. We are going to say it. We are not saying it because we don't like the president. No. This is what those singers who think they love the president, this is what they're doing. When we criticize,
it's not necessarily because of hate.
We want those things to be corrected.
We want improvement.
Yes, we want improvement.
I cannot agree any less with you. To calm down the tension in the studio so that we get into another phase of our conversation, there is a music by Shaylan.
Director Paddy.
Add something very briefly. Yes, add it.
No. I need to add something real quick here, because part of your
statement.
Please
go ahead.
You said, where did we go wrong in Mezam? I really want to thank the Comrade Wilson for that tremendous explanation that he gave there. I want to assure every Ambazonian that so far we've not gone wrong anywhere. I'm going to tell you, we are fighting a colonial regime. We are fighting a country that has been in existence for years. And for over 7 to 8 years now, they have not been able to claim victory. That is big. And I'm telling you this, Laribuliju Cameroon has spent billions of dollars in this war, and yet they cannot claim victory. So
Dr. Tita is a motivational speaker, and he just wants to motivate everyone here tonight. I agree with you. Cameroon cannot claim victory, but Ambazonians also have the duty to share their concerns. Right after this music break.
No. Paddy, just one word. One word.
The president and the defense team are working extremely hard on a daily basis for us to defeat Laribuliju Cameroon. So just let's make this very clear.
Go ahead.
Just one word. I want to say that the coup plotters also dealt a blow on Mezam.
Okay.
It's something that it is not only in other places, but Mezam was badly affected. Look at Bali. Bali, which used to be
I cannot agree any less.
That is
it used to be. Can I finish?
Yes.
It used to be nobody passes through Bali as easily as it was before. But now Bali is now taken over by La Republic of Cameroon because of the coup plotters. The coup plotters dealt us a blow. They got Babila Tita who is somewhere in Canada to get to Bragampa, and they destroyed the buffaloes, and that is where we are now. It will take some time for us to be. So we cannot give the blame. We cannot give the blame to the Mezam executive. They are doing their best. They are doing what it takes They are working hard. They are working hard, but we must also agree that the coup plotting did not spare us.
Yeah,
That's
thank you,
true.
Senior Barrister,
Okay,
for saying that. But
briefly,
let me,
please.
yes, thank you, Senior Barrister, for saying that. But let me make it very clear here to every Ambazonian to know that whatever happened with the coup plotters is largely Cameroon's effort to defeat us. That's part of their strategy.
Yes.
Same as their military strategy. It's the same thing. We as a people, we stood up against La République du Cameroon strategy and destroyed them. La République du Cameroon was ready to claim victory in this struggle in 2022, but we prevented them from claiming that victory, and we still have a revolution
Now,
today.
Dr.
We are
Tita,
moving
Dr.
forward.
Tita, Dr.
Yes.
Tita, before you conclude, I want to ask you a question. So you thinking that the coup plotting did not reduce our pace? Is that what
It's
you're
supposed to,
saying?
because that's the regime part of their strategy. There's a military strategy,
Okay,
and
that's
then
what we are
there's
saying.
It
We are saying
happened.
that.
It happened. Let's not refuse.
Yeah, yes.
Let's not
That's what we
refuse
are saying
the
that.
actual fact.
Yeah, that's the
Bali,
truth.
Bali
We are
is
saying that
Bali
the
was
coup
badly
plotting.
affected.
Yeah, yes.
Bafut 7 Qatar that used to be a fearful force was also affected. Let's agree that something happened and we need to rebuild, and we are and our executive
Director Fadi, let me say
is
something.
building. Our executive is building, and they are building, and they are doing their best. But the 7 Qatar is coming up now, and we need to rescue Bali Buffalo. That is the places where
Chairman
that's
Wilson,
the
please speak
places
briefly.
where the coup
Speak so
plotters.
that I can take it to the
Listen,
next level.
let me finish.
A moment.
Chris Anu led the strategy that destroyed the 7 Qatar in Bali. And
Chris Anu
since
is
then,
there for his pockets.
I mean, the 7 Qatars in Baput, the 7 Qatars in Baput, and since then, Bafut was badly affected, but Bafut is coming up now because there is a concerted action between the Mezam County and the federal government trying to rebuild Bafut. And I'm also saying that the same is continuing in Bali. And I think that if the executive and the defense team and the federal government continue to work together, we will rebuild Mezam where it was before.
I think I like that contribution. Yes. Brief contribution. Go ahead.
Thank you, Barrister Padi. One thing I want to say here, if we look at the American government, whether it's a Republican administration or a Democratic administration, once it comes to the security of an American, no matter whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, the country becomes one and they are behind you.
Yes.
I don't call names. The defense team, we don't go out and call names. We consider every Ambazonian as Ambazonian.
Yeah.
I will say those we consider them as disgruntled Ambazonians. We are not going to discard them. We are working with the federal government. We're making policies that are going to rebuild all those places, with or without the disgruntled Ambazonians. Please, let's just be focused. This war is still going on because of the policies of the federal government. And if we continue to implement those policies of the federal government with the resources that Ambazonians are going to give us, rest assured, we are not going to be calling names that who did this or who did that. Everybody is going to fall in.
We're just going to recount a victory. We're going to recount victory. Thank you very much for your contribution.